All right, everybody, welcome back. Our coverage of Season 2 rolls on from Atlanta. You're not watching the finals, but you are watching Zane Navratil and that spin serve challenge. That is one of the hype guys there trying to return it. Coming up next, though, is the Las Vegas Night Owls taking on the SoCal Hard Eights in the Challenger level final, featuring two teams in their first ever franchise finals. They are taking the stage now. Emily Ackerman with her partner on the side of Vegas, Susanna Barr. And for SoCal, the ladies warming up, Jana Newell and Eva Radzikowska in the hot pink t-shirts. Can't miss them. What are you most looking forward to in this finals matchup, Cameron?
Well, I think one of the first things that you have to note, and you just mentioned all of their names, are the 4 women in this matchup. For the challenger level, these are 4 of the top women. Maybe there are 1, 2 that really sneak into that top 5, but honestly, they are so impressive. Especially you have to pay attention to Radzikowska. She has been so good at the challenger level, the MVP, but she's also playing alongside Jana Newell. This is somebody that's been playing at the premier level in terms of her skill set. So watch out for this duo, as they are going to be really difficult to take on. But you also have one of the great vets, and when I say veterans, it's more about this woman's drop. Susanna Barr has one of the nastiest drops in the game of pickleball. And Ackerman, she plays emotional and she rides the high. One of the best in terms of her dynamic ability on the court.
Here's the schedule for the rest of the day here on Championship Court. That was the voice of Cameron Irwin. I'm Michelle McMahon, and Cameron Blackwood will be joining us from the sideline to conclude our coverage. And boy, do we have a good one. We don't even know who's playing in the quarterfinals yet on the premier level side, because things are a little tight at the top. A lot of teams 2-1 at the moment. So we are sorting through the numbers. We'll get you posted on that as soon as that comes available to us. But what we can tell you is that DC is through, Orlando as well, Bay Area, Arizona, Chicago, Miami are the 6 teams to advance to the knockout rounds starting later on this afternoon. But for now, it's all the challenger level final. This has been quite the journey for both teams. The Vegas Night Owls needed to make a big push at the challenger level. So did the SoCal Hard Eights, because their history leading into this point was not great.
Yeah, and in talking to Tim Parks, the owner for the SoCal Hard Eights, that was the conversation. He said, I've been to a final before, but I've yet to win. So this is definitely a team that is looking to pick up their first Major League Pickleball title.
We'll get you caught up on the coin toss as soon as we have it. But for now, we will profile the remainder of the teams. We talked about the ladies on both sides. Now let's talk about the men. For Vegas, it's Yates Johnson and his partner Spencer Smith. They're in the black t-shirts on the sideline. And for the SoCal Hard Eights, it's Todd Fote and Carson C.J. Klinger, the 17-year-old sensation. Still growing into his body, frankly, but he is so incredibly swift with his movements and fun to watch.
He's got some of the longest arms on tour, I will tell you that much. But to his credit, he uses them really well. Still great compact strokes, and also just really solid in terms of some of his drives from the baseline and even into the transition zone.
Here's the coin toss with Howard Hepworth. Let's listen in.
For the coin toss, I'm joined with the Las Vegas Night Owls captain, Susanna Barr, the SoCal Hard Eights captain, Jana Newell. Las Vegas will call it. There's the head, there's the tail. Make the call. Tails is the call. It is a head. SoCal has won the toss. What is your first selection? They've chosen to react to mixed. Second choice? Women's first. They will play the women's doubles first. Third choice. And SoCal has chosen to receive. Which end would you like to start on? Las Vegas will start on my right. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
There you have it. The coin toss will come into play mostly once we switch over to mixed doubles, and the team that react has the advantage there. The Hard Eights won the toss, so they chose to react. That is Todd Fote, originally out of Vancouver, Canada, now based in Ogden, Utah. His partner in mixed is Yana Newell in the blue hat and the hot pink t-shirt. And man, she has been so fun to watch on the pro level tour lately. Not only has her singles game drastically grown, as has her doubles game as well. Emily Ackerman, a player on the rise. Susanna Barr has been a staple at the pro level for so long. According to the win probability, just a slight edge goes to the two-time MLP MVP Eva Radzikowska and Yana Newell, but this should be as close as we could ask for.
Yeah, and speaking of a little bit of the X factor, I think Emily Ackerman could be a big difference maker here, just in terms of Susanna Barr. She's going to try and look to take a lot of those thirds. If I'm going up against them, I'm actually going to stay away from Susanna Barr in terms of my return. I want Emily Ackerman to have to hit that third shot and really force Susanna Barr to be the one to apply pressure. A little less dynamic getting the kitchen line, and also you don't have to deal with the amount of topspin coming off of her paddle. So watch for the SoCal Hard Eights in terms of where they send those returns, because I feel like it's going to be pretty imperative throughout this game.
Moments away from first serve. How about the crowd today, Cameron? They've been electric. It's been loud since 10 a.m. this morning.
Did you see the hype guys when they first got here?
Yes.
Wearing the blow-up big old suits that were pink? Oh my gosh.
So good.
I was thinking, how long is that going to last? Because it is also really hot, which is also made for a great level of pickleball. It's kind of fun as the ball gets a little bit mushy. The play in terms of the hands battles really changes. So we're seeing extended hands battles. It's just that much harder to put the ball away. So especially in this women's doubles matchup, you might see a good amount of firefights going the distance.
Yeah, it's a balmy 82 degrees and sunny here in Atlanta. This is the first stop on the MLP
Ladies,
tour for
1
season
minute.
2. We still have 2 more events to go after this one. Can't believe it feels like a year since the last season 1 event for Major League Pickleball. So fun to be back and so thrilled to bring you the action here on Championship Court. Susanna Barr and Emily Ackerman getting set for the action.
On the court, living in Utah.
As are the fans.
These are the Las Vegas Night Owls.
Of course, the Vegas Night Owls, one of the jaw-dropping
15
owners.
seconds. Las Vegas will be serving from my right.
In the group, Tom Brady, Kim Kleisters, Caitlin Curd, the GM, amongst several others. It is really cool to see how the ownership group and Cirkul has expanded with notoriety on the list. Tim Parks, one of the original owners,
Yes,
Rick Chan, and the finance buddies that got in really since its inception. But
Well,
SoCal.
and they got in because they love the game of pickleball. Not only do they see a great investment in the sport as it continues to grow, we all know what's transpired just within the last month across the pickleball landscape, but the amount of money coming in, the amount now that these players are able to live off of, do this full-time, and not just at the top of the draw anymore. You were talking about from premier down to the challenger level, so it's really fun to watch money come in, and it's really allowing this game to grow, not just from a financial standpoint, but also from a skill level standpoint. Because pros can now really focus on their game, you're seeing a jump, and the challenger level has been a great example throughout the weekend. The level has no doubt grown from season 1 to season 2.
yeah, the parody's going to be fun to watch. Coach Dominic Catalano, commentator by day, Vegas Night Owls coach by night. Look at him, he's locked in, he's ready to go.
Don't
Game
forget
one.
the other side. It's like
Time in.
battle of the
0-0.
commentators.
Yes, Adam Stone, where are you? Where is he? First serve underway. Big finish for Eva Radzikowska.
Watch Eva Radzikowska. This is a great example, utilizing her length, big forehand, and just an outstanding angle.
Set out. Point one.
It's a really nice ball right there from Emily Ackerman. Recognizing still at the baseline, drops that low.
Yana Newell all over the backhand. Speed up.
SoCal Hard Eights protecting the middle well right here. I love the fill-in from Yana Newell. That's a great read.
Set out. Point 2.
And it's interesting. You can tell right now the SoCal Hard Eights, just from the first 4 balls alone, really aggressive in their approach. Not looking to slow this game down at all.
Speeds it up, gets the point.
But again, it was the SoCal Hard Eights that took the first shot in the middle of that rally. It's clear they're going after Emily Ackerman in terms of that backhand side.
And why
Side out. Point 3.
speeding up approach be effective for the Hard Eights in that particular area?
Well, it's going to be interesting, too, in terms of having to pick their spots. I think maybe they feel like they have the advantage in terms of hand speed, but it's going to be about potentially going more the direction of Susanna Barr in some of those battles. Watch out for Emily Ackerman. She already showcased that she kind of has a one-hand backhand flip, so watch for the location. It's going to be imperative for the SoCal Hard Eights.
Couple of errors on the side of Susanna Barr make it a 2-point lead for the Hard Eights.
5-3. Side out. Point
Susanna
4.
Barr showing some former volleyball talent in that overhead. Good athlete all around and really been a staple for quite a while. From Susanna Barr, starts with the lob, finishes cross court.
Oh, such creative play from Susanna Barr. That lob, an offensive lob, very deceptive over the top of Radzikowska, gets them ahead in the point. You can see the damage it does with both the SoCal Hard Eights on the baseline. I think it came off her thumb.
Unconventional, but effective.
It works.
6-5.
Now we're on the side of Vegas Night Owls.
Yeah, and this is tough, turning the SoCal Hard Eights into a defensive team right here. Remember, we talked about they wanted to come out and be the aggressors. However, they continue to find themselves backing off the kitchen line.
Point.
Vegas takes their first lead of the game here in women's doubles.
Point.
Why for Radzikowska, something should be noted is the wind is starting to pick up here on center court. We can feel it swirling courtside.
Yeah, it definitely comes in and out. That's one of the biggest elements. And we talk about it often in the game of pickleball. Windy conditions change the game so much, and it really comes down to preference. Do you like to play into the wind or out of the wind? Little cross court as well can change things up. So it definitely means you got to continue to work those feet, move those feet around the ball.
She's answering the call on every speed-up chance.
Yeah, but again, it's the setup right here. Susanna Barr, just watch how crafty she is. She really likes working that forehand, and you'll see her even kind of slide that forehand over to her left hip and get a little deceptive with it. a bummer because that should 100% be the SoCal Hard Eights point right here. The sitter in the middle, just a little indecisiveness as to who's taking that. But they continue to go to the Emily Ackerman backhand, and she's taking that, cutting it out of the air as a volley. They're kind of sitting up a little bit in the middle, so I think that's what the SoCal Hard Eights are looking for.
She's been rock solid on that left side. Vegas gets to 11 first.
That is a great ball from Ackerman right there. If you don't think that you can be aggressive with a slice, you can be. That was the perfect example. Taking that ball, backspin down at the foot, it skids out on you. It doesn't lift, and it creates a really troublesome ball to have to put some pace on, bring that ball above the height of the net, creating a beautiful combination for Ackerman.
Dominic Catalano staying hydrated with one of our water sponsors here on Major League Pickleball. There are the hype guys, Nighthawk and Dragon. Colorful as always. Here's on the hard side today. Let's look at Susanna Barr, 45 years old, top DUPR rank in the challenger level. She's won 87% of the points. What do you like the most about the way Susanna Barr plays?
You know what's impressive is that I feel like she still continues to evolve. She has a really high level of execution. We talked about her third shot drop, but she also is so crafty in terms of utilizing her forehand, kind of sliding that around her body and her frame, but also her redirect backhand is deadly.
And the second DUPR rank, you ask? Eva Radzikowska on the posing side. She's 43 years old. We'd love to see the ladies in the 40s still excelling, making it here to the championship rounds.
Also makes us wonder what we're doing, Michelle.
I know. We gotta step it up.
Watch for Yana Newell maybe start shifting just slightly inside. Watch that left foot if it's on that center line. They've been wanting Radzikowska to really kind of impart her will with that big forehand through the middle.
Side out.
So you wonder which side the wind is advantaging right now.
Well, right now, I would say for the Las Vegas Night Owls, they're hitting somewhat into the wind, so watch for those thirds as they may be kind of hanging up there an extra second.
Susanna Barr set herself up nicely with a deep return there.
It's going to be hard to drive from this side for the Las Vegas Night Owls, hitting into the wind.
13-8. Side out, 0.9.
Mind the choice, but at the same time, maybe it should have been 2 to 3 balls later.
9-13. Side out, 0.14.
Looking for the third shot drive. They tried to use it on the opposing side as well, but haven't quite found success with it.
Oh, what a play. Susanna Barr, have yourself a point. What defense to offense we just saw on the Night Owls side.
And it's from partner to partner, too. It's not just one player outperforming the other. Emily Ackerman had that dig, just outstanding, almost pancaking that ball back to the other side.
Night Owls are looking to be running away with this one. How shocking is a 16-9 scoreline? You at least thought it was going to be
1 minute
closer than this to this point in the game. What's causing that separation for you?
I think there was a little bit of indecision through the middle, and I think it's trying to figure out who's going to be the difference maker on the side of the SoCal Hard Eights. I mentioned they wanted Radzikowska to have that big forehand through the middle. However, she hasn't necessarily been putting the ball away. There's only been about 2 balls that she's really finished. So Yana Newell starts to kind of shift and shade. You feel like you need to do more if you're the right sider, and all of a sudden that's going to cause some issues in terms of who's taking what, and you're not necessarily feeling as free in terms of putting the ball away.
Well, there's a good look at Adam Stone, who is in animated fashion talking to his team, one of the general managers of the Hard Eights, one of the originals. The
15
Hard Eights
seconds.
were ahead of the game when hiring Adam Stone to be their lead guy to handle the drafts and strategize with them. And he's done an excellent job with that, especially the challenger level.
Time in. 16-9.
Susanna Barr will look to continue the run for Vegas. Yana Newell, big response out of the break.
Point 10.
Really nice ball from Yana Newell. She sends the first ball to the left, shifting the defense that direction, and then goes the opposite.
10-16. Point.
Tough ball. They also changed their target. They're now going more to the forehand side for Susanna Barr since they've changed ends.
11-16. Point.
Now finding the third shot ball through the middle. Love that for the Hard Eights. Quick adjustments.
12-16.
No doubt from Adam Stone.
Pressure though from Emily Ackerman, protecting a now 5-point lead on their side.
Nice job by Ackerman, still keeping those feet
17-12.
really active, opening up that forehand. It's easy to hit a backhand there, but the amount of topspin she can create with that forehand,
Point.
well, as you see there, it's kind of deadly.
$18-12.
Oh,
Side out.
can't believe she
Point
missed it.
13.
That would have left a mark. Emily Ackerman just swung through this ball like she's Tiger Woods. Look at this.
13-18.
Yeah.
Emily Ackerman inside out on the backhand, finds the line, 2 points away from taking game one.
That point showcased Susanna Barr's ability to create trouble with her dink, that two-hand
19-13.
backhand where she drops the paddle head and pushes that ball to the corner.
Not an easy shot to hit. Emily Ackerman delivers down the line once more. Game point for Vegas.
We talked about Yana Newell kind of getting back to the middle right there. That's where her left foot is. That's creating an alley up the line.
Susanna Barr rolls it in, caps it off, a 21-13 finish for Vegas. Really, they only trailed once early in the beginning, and they completely took off for a run. What a performance for Emily Ackerman and Susanna Barr.
I mean, everything was thrown at them from the attack at the beginning. They also started attack at the SoCal Hard Eights end change, and nothing could phase the Las Vegas Night Owls. They had an answer to everything.
Well, according to the numbers, they were the underdogs, but not according to them. Susanna Barr is standing by with Emily Ackerman, her partner, and Cameron Blackwood on the sideline.
Thanks, Mish. Emily, you and Susanna, no strangers to the big moment, having won a championship together. What were the words you had for your team before stepping out to the finals?
I think we just wanted to have good energy, good footwork. We knew it's a little swirly out. We also know the other team is very good and got themselves here undefeated as well. So we just knew we had to kind of dig deep and trust our shots.
So you were the first pickup here for the Night Owls, wanted Emily back on your team. You guys have so much chemistry. How much does that help in moments like this?
Oh, I mean, it helps tremendously. Like, I just know I can trust Emily. She's going to pick me up when I'm down. I'm going to pick her up when she's down. And we're just going to have fun.
Night Owls take the first point here. We're going to come right back with men's doubles. Don't go anywhere.
Dulce Vida, you are what you drink.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
Welcome back to Atlanta. This is season 2 for Major League Pickleball, and you are watching the Challenger level finals. We move on to the men's doubles portion of the match. The women's doubles went to the Vegas Night Owls. Now CJ Klinger and Todd Fote have all the pressure on their side, and the hot pink shirts for the
15 seconds. Las Vegas is serving from my left.
We saw the slight slant in favor of the hard eights for the ladies. Well, it's the same story for the men, with a slight edge for the young CJ Klinger, 17 years old, and his partner Todd Fote taking on Spencer Smith and Yates Johnson. How do you see this match playing out, Cameron?
It's going to be a good one, to be honest with you. It's going to be dynamic on the side of the SoCal hard eights. I've been really impressed with Todd Fote in terms of him kind of managing his younger partner, who has been dynamic in his own right, but it has been a steady force for Todd Fote in terms of his ability to stay consistent and really be a solid left-sider. They also have 2 forehands in the middle, so that's going to be a danger zone if you're the Las Vegas Night Owls. So watch for the ball to maybe go to the outside of the court on the side of the SoCal hard eights. In terms of the other side, ooh, there's some big forehands that you're going to have to watch out
Game
for.
2. Time
Yates Johnson has to serve, 29 years old, from Texas.
It's a really nice ball from Yates Johnson, protecting the middle right here. This ball left up, and usually it'd be Smith coming over, but you can see he's just a half step behind. Nice cover from Yates. this move right here from Klinger. Watch how long he kind of holds. There's a pause right at the bottom of his stroke, and this is what causes the fear on the other side from the kitchen line. You're not sure where to put your paddle.
Side out, point 2.
That's it. That's it, Dave. Find your spot. Find your spot.
2-1.
Head on.
Yates Johnson on the poach off the backhand.
SoCal Hard Eights have continued to kind of return to the middle. Spencer Smith taking over there. Watch out for the two-hand backhand poach from Yates, though.
It's a snipe from him.
Point.
Left long for the Las Vegas Night Owls, up 4-1 early.
Add another.
4-1. Point.
Yates Johnson takes advantage.
And I'm going to look to potentially return a different location right here. They return middle every single time, and Spencer Smith is just using the drive and drop in there. That's a nice combo on the backhand side. That's the difference maker. Really impressive. I like that they switch. They go to Smith on the backhand side. It's a little less dangerous, plus then kind of gets Johnson less involved through the middle.
Point.
Lofty ball. I think the wind maybe dragged it a little bit forward on Yates Johnson.
Those are the ones that get you because they're so high, but there's nothing behind them, so they actually end up falling pretty shallow into the kitchen.
Point 6.
Third shot drive that time for the Hard Eights. The Owls were all over it.
6-3. Point.
And then again, they go the opposite direction back to the middle, and either you're dealing with a Spencer Smith forehand, or so far the Johnson two-hand backhand has been really solid.
Point.
That's the play. Johnson usually plays with his brother Hunter, who we saw on the premier level for Atlanta. Spencer Smith and Yates Johnson.
8-3.
A heavy combo on the men's side. Wow, Spencer Smith with hands for days.
A little Midas touch right here for Spencer Smith.
What?
Just stuck that paddle out. He might have even closed his eyes. Still walks away with it.
9-3.
Todd Folk wasn't going away quietly. Down 5.
Todd Folk kind of has a fun background too. He's also a general contractor. So he is working 2 jobs right now between pro pickleball and that.
Point.
It's a good ball from Klinger. Reason being, watch, he's got the two-hand backhand, creates a ton of pace, and then so quick, he trusts his shot, gets to the middle, and applies pressure.
5-9. Point.
Johnson is asking if it touched his jersey.
Yes, you did.
Hit the logo.
Good. Did that touch you? Okay. You want to challenge that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're going to have our first challenge here.
Vegas is challenging that the ball hit
Yates
the player
Johnson
before landing out.
believes that
the result of the rally
Speed
is
Up
6-9.
caught the shirt of CJ
We'll proceed
Klinger.
to video review.
It's a very small target when he turns sideways, Michelle.
What's that?
So he's a very small target when he turns sideways.
That is factual. That is very factual. He knows his limits.
It's like a sheet of paper.
Yates Johnson feels like he found a slim target. We'll see.
CJ Klinger also really fun. He's got his dad in the stands. He's been one of his biggest supporters and fans. It was fun. I got a chance to sit down with him, and I thought we would be talking about pickleball. We ended up talking about football. He's a massive Cincinnati Bengals fan, and our 2 teams are facing off on Monday night this week. So there might be maybe some side bets going on between myself and the Klinger family. It's actually how he also got into pickleball, was from his dad. They played together while vacationing, and next thing you know, he had a tennis background as well as a lot of ping pong in his family.
Makes sense.
And decided this was the direction. He is all in now on pickleball, just 17 years old.
And just think where his game will be in just a couple of years. Howard Hepworth delivering the verdict for us as he checks in with the remainder of the crew and our tracking referee. While we have some time to chat, what do you think the X factor will be midway through this men's doubles game now?
I think it needs to be that consistent adjustment. We've seen it a handful of times, but getting the ball out of the middle from the Las Vegas Night Owls, they're protecting really well right now, trying to kind of neutralize them from the baseline and make them have to work to get to the kitchen line. They might create a pop-up or two, but I'd love to see the return go the direction of Spencer Smith to the back inside and create some opportunities there. Also, if CJ Klinger can continue to find that one-hand backhand roll up the line, that could be dangerous.
Where should the Night Owls target on the hard eights?
That's a great question. I think
backhand of Todd Foe?
No, he hasn't really created. There's not a whole lot of danger there that we've seen. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have it in him. But yeah, I would say you're kind of going to go that direction just because it neutralizes them on their own side. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I think maybe the left shoulder of Todd Fote, if you're looking for a speed up, that Johnson forehand, that direction could be solid, or maybe going cross-court, cross-body on CJ Klinger, where you'll find his backhand.
Spencer Smith also has a fun story on how he found pickleball. It was in 2018 on a Tinder date. Cameron quickly became obsessed, turned pro then in 2019, so
he swiped right on
Tinder.
pickleball.
I wonder who won.
I don't know, is she still around?
We don't know. We've got a lot of follow-up questions.
If she is, then I would say he probably won. If she won,
we'll
probably
see what
not.
kind of man he is. Dominic Catalano, former pickleball pro and a coach to a lot of the pros now. Also commentator with us. He's coaching the Las Vegas Night Owls as well, and the fans are loving it. 80 degrees. They're out
troopers.
Here cheering. Troopers in the sun.
We need a sunscreen sponsor.
Yes.
I don't know how that hasn't happened yet.
That's a great point.
I've had fans come up to me multiple times today asking for sunscreen.
I know.
I'm like,
you gotta.
Aren't y'all living in Georgia? I should be asking you.
Exactly. Redhead props. Let's get the verdict now on this extra long challenge from Howard Hepworth.
After review, the rally will stand as play. There's no evidence that it hit the player.
Pace off.
Tough to see.
We will resume play with SoCal serving 6-9. Time in. 6-9.
Just like for Todd Fote and paddle, something malfunctioned in that play.
I'm pretty sure this may have stayed on the paddle of Todd Fote for about 3 seconds. Kind of got one of those sliders coming off. That's a great point from the SoCal Hard Eights. It all starts again from them sending this ball more to the backhand side. You can see that it's kind of forcing the Las Vegas Night Owls to hit shots they don't necessarily want to. They're having to drive defensively and drop defensively from the baseline versus playing their style of game.
No!
Can force your opponent to play a style they don't want to or isn't what they aim to do in terms of their scouting report. Just like this.
Boy, comeback kids, the SoCal Hard Eights right back in, down 1. Look at it tie it here.
That's 2 straight drives from the SoCal Hard Eights.
tie it up at 10.
Spencer Smith trying to create openings in terms of sending that ball to the backhand side of Fote, but the prior ball didn't go there, so there was no room through the middle.
Down the middle, Todd Fote gives his team their first lead of the game.
1 minute.
That is a heads-up play from Todd Fote. He has yet to do this. And watch, it's off the bounce. Holds the paddle. He's been sending that ball to the backhand side of Spencer Smith, which creates a bit of a shade to that sideline. A good ball from Todd Fote.
What a comeback for the Hard Eights. They were in a desperate situation, trailing by as many as 5 points in that one early. Climbed out of a hole. CJ Klinger gives us the thumbs up. He's ready to go, Cameron.
Yeah, they're not even going over the sideline right now. Momentum on their side. You see the name of Spencer Smith, age 33 years old. Points won 50%. That DUPR, gosh, we always think you're so proud as an amateur to play at the 5.0 level. I'm always impressed when you see those above 6.0, 6.47
15 seconds
for Spencer Smith. But really, it's been an adjustment from the SoCal Hard Eights. One, the return location, and then two, also what they've done in terms of their baseline play. They got a little aggressive, showcased some of their drives. So we'll see if there are any more adjustments in terms of changing their strategy from the baseline.
Yeah, right after you said it was 2 in a row, they drove another.
11-10.
See if that continues to be the strategy here. No discussions on the sideline. They found their rhythm, but Spencer Smith will respond.
11.
And this is where it gets hard, right? Change ends and different conditions in terms of wind, even your vision.
11.
Yeah, finding your drive with and against the wind. 2 different situations. Both lofts in the middle. When all else fails, find the middle.
And this is an impressive play. He comes in and actually speeds up with the backhand right there, but not able. That's where you get a little iffy in terms of shading too far to the center.
The dodge from Chance Johnson.
Was it a dip or a duck? Or a dive or a dodge?
12.
Whatever it was, he avoided getting pegged in the head. Survival mechanism.
They've also looked a little bit more to the forehand side of Yates Johnson, pushing him just out to the sideline enough.
Spencer Smith wanted the line on CJ Klinger.
Problem is that ball pops up. You can see how defensive he is, about 3 feet from the kitchen line.
Yates Johnson.
That's when you look at your opponent and say, thanks, that was perfect. Shoulder height, right on your forehand.
13-14.
What a shot from Todd Fote, 2 rips.
Just unloading on this ball. Watch this. Great footwork, gets behind it, goes heavy with the forehand, 2 straight. Nice combination as he comes back to the middle.
And the lefty reset.
Hanging on to that paddle, comes up with a defensive stab, and there is the long arm of CJ Klinger. What a read and what a point of execution.
17 years old, 7th DUPR rank amongst the men at the challenger level, based out of Ohio, as you mentioned. He is a sensational talent, and what a pickup. Credit to you, Adam Stone, in the 3rd round of the draft. He was their 3rd round pick at 34, and he has proven to be a steal for this team.
You know, something we've noticed throughout Major League Pickleball, especially within this past year, is there's something to be said about some of the lower draft picks in terms of total rounds. you're looking for somebody that you need a surprise. You need somebody to almost kind of outperform.
15
You're looking
seconds.
to have the specialty item.
position.
You think of Rachel Rohrbacher now at the premier level and how much she has performed. So someone that can exceed expectations, that has a really high ceiling, hoping for a ton of potential. CJ Klinger is that player for the SoCal Hard Eights.
He won't be available in the third round much longer. To this run especially. For the Hard Eights.
Johnson trying to create off the two-hand backhand, kind of from a defensive posture. That's on his shoelaces. Really good decision right there from CJ Klinger. Able to reset that ball shallow back into the middle.
Go, no breaks, CJ.
18-13. Side out, point 14.
Todd Foat recognizing a great drop from his partner, kind of shades that direction and finds himself in an I formation just off the toe of his paddle.
Ambitious, the top vote.
You know, we talk about needing all the tools, and we're starting to see in the later stages of this game shots we have yet to see in terms of speed ups, being one of the first two-hand backhand speed ups from Foat we've seen. This is tough for Johnson right here. Watch the location. Kind of can't decide if he wants to hit a forehand, backhand through the middle. Ends up finding that paddle in a forehand position on his left foot.
Not easier.
19-15.
Routine shots.
Point 16.
This is a difficult ATP right here. He goes with a little bit of a slice, hoping to hang this into the corner, but in all actuality, he kind of needed to create almost an arc around the post, so some side spin would have been nice the opposite direction.
Vote wins the battle, gets game point back on his side, a 4-point lead to help.
And again, that is a counter from Spencer Smith that's just defensive. It's forced into because of the great dink from Foat.
This for Vegas means the series is evened out at 1 game apiece. SoCal, CJ Klinger and Todd Foat take it. Will come back early in the beginning of this one, and CJ Klinger played out of his mind.
It was a big difference maker, there's no doubt about it, but more importantly, it was their in-game adjustments that were so pivotal.
Unreal.
It was really impressive to watch their adjustment in terms of from the baseline, getting aggressive with those third shot drives. That was really a big difference maker for them, as well as the return location. And then Foat just stepping up. I mean, it was both of them at different times. Great job by him filling through the middle. And CJ Klinger, the random poach here and there. I mean, come on now. That kid is ready to play.
I love the gumption of a 17-year-old.
Those sunglasses are pretty stellar, too.
Hater shades are on. CJ Klinger and his partner Todd Foat with Cameron Blackwood now.
Thanks, Misha. Slower start for you guys. Night Owls really took a big lead there, but it was the change of pace that started to create a lot of problems. What were you seeing on the other side that made you have that adjustment?
Yeah, they hit some great drives. We just had to slow it down a little bit, get to the kitchen, play our game. We got lucky on a few and came out on top.
CJ, you played lights out. You're yelling at your fan base, yelling at your teammates. How excited are you for this moment?
Yeah, I love my team. I just love to compete too. Just excited to be out here.
Hard Eights tie it up 1-1. We're heading into mixed doubles right after this. Don't go anywhere.
One more time. Give it up for Tom.
into it.
The all-new Prius. Toyota. Let's go places.
And I said, Saturday? No one's here. Right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice...
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Cirkul. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Cirkul starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Cirkul. It's your water, your way. Try Cirkul at drinkcirkul.com.
We've got Susanna Barr and Spencer.
We have our hands full with our first mixed doubles game of the matchup between the SoCal Hard Eights and Las Vegas Night Owls. Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin in the booth, and Cameron Blackwood has us covered on the sideline, and we have a tied series between these two teams, making their first ever run to the championships at the challenger level. Remember,
15 seconds, Las Vegas is serving on my right.
They chose to react, so that means the Vegas Night Owls had to put their mixed doubles team out first, to which they chose Spencer Smith and Susanna Barr, and the Hard Eights opted to counter that with CJ Klinger and Eva Radzikowska. That, to me, seems like the stronger mixed doubles team for the Hard Eights. What do you think?
Honestly, the win probability between these two teams is 50-50, and I would say that's more than fair, because I'm looking right now in terms of the matchup. Susanna Barr can be really deadly, like we've talked about, just in terms of her ability to stay consistent. Spencer Smith can cause some issues. If he gets after Eva Radzikowska and is pinpoint accurate in terms of where he speeds the ball up, this could be very interesting. You're also going to have the ladies playing heads up, so Eva has to protect the middle because she has a lefty partner. So this is where it gets interesting with Spencer Smith. Maybe he could have some success through the middle.
0-0.
And a quick clarification. That thought in just a moment. CJ Klinger buries it. And when it came to the selection of putting their teams out first for the Hard Eights, this seems like the stronger duo. Radzikowska and CJ Klinger compared to Yana Newell and Todd Fogue.
Side out. Point one.
That's the way I phrased it earlier, was making it sound like comparing them to the Vegas Night Owls.
I gotcha.
More so on their.
But I would say,
side.
I would even say for their mixed doubles, it's really a 1A and a 1B. They're going to play a little potentially different styles. Don't forget Yana Newell. I mean, this is somebody who has won in terms of big-time matches on the PPA Tour. She has success against some of the top pros in the game of pickleball, so she knows how to play mixed doubles really well, and she is also somebody who can shine in a big-time moment.
Pressure from Spencer Smith.
Point two.
And again, it's that head-to-head battle. Look at this. You got a lefty over there. Nice pickup by Klinger, but he drops that paddle head and actually creates too much upward trajectory.
Sorry. Point.
And that's what you're going to watch out for. Anytime that Spencer Smith can kind of slide towards that middle and he gets heads up with Eva Radzikowska, he's going to take a shot at her.
3-2.
She's sitting backhand right there too, something to pay attention to. Again, you saw Spencer Smith attack Eva Radzikowska, and the direction that she goes in terms of her defense is actually sitting backhand. I'd like to see her slide and open up her forehand.
Side out, point four.
Call it out, call it out.
Call it out.
I think there's going to be a question here. Ball called out of bounds. And I believe the fans are saying CJ Klinger called that ball too late.
I did not see nor hear a call, neither did our second referee.
Courtney Johnson on the sideline laying down the law.
And they're going to accept the tardy out call.
Okay.
Apparently they didn't get a note.
4-3. Point.
This return evens it out. The Vegas Night Owls were frustrated about it. Up 2.
5-3.
Ooh, Susanna Barr.
If CJ's playing like this, I want to see Eva shade even more. Give him more court because he is feeling very comfortable. Have her put pressure off the edge with that forehand. See right here, she's still sitting a little bit middle. I know obviously that's a high third. It's going to be a tough ball for her to have to pick up, but nonetheless, her court positioning can add pressure even if she doesn't touch the ball.
6-4. Side out, point 5.
That's a good speed up, just an unlucky ball from Susanna Barr.
5-6.
She's a nice job in terms of flattening out some of her attacks.
We've got the Players Lounge on full display here, located just behind Championship Court. Connor Garnett, Rafa Hewitt, a happy-looking duo. The Bay Area Breakers will be in the quarterfinals. Match to follow this one. Beautiful grounds here at the Lifetime Facilities, Peachtree Corners. Major League Pickleball just continues to up the game. to be a winner, then Spencer Smith comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I actually don't mind this. CJ Klinger, look at this. He recognizes Spencer Smith just a little bit of a stutter step to get back to the middle. But again, I really want to see Eva Radzikowska shift over, give CJ more space. Because one of the big elements is that she's currently having to take a step and a half to hit each one of her backhand dinks. She could give herself a little bit more ease and let CJ protect with that forehand through the middle and have a half step to some of her dinks going cross court. Allow her to be more precise and less on the move.
Side out, point 10.
Susanna Barr, she's been effective on her side. That makes her such a strong female counterpart in mixed doubles.
She doesn't miss.
Yeah.
Point. Timeout. Change hands.
11-6. Takes an 11-6 lead for the end change. Las Vegas finding another 5-point lead, but we've seen this tale before with the hard eights.
Well, and you asked me about Susanna Barr. What's interesting is, where are these balls going to? They're going cross court to Spencer Smith. That speaks to the amount of respect Eva Radzikowska has and CJ Klinger in terms of dinking up the line to Susanna Barr. Now, I do think that could be a bit of an adjustment. Do you trust Eva Radzikowska enough? If I were the SoCal hard eights right now, I would try and dink a little up the line, shade Eva more towards the line, let CJ cover middle, and that's going to force Susanna to have to go cross court, spend a ton of time topspin, and get away from that. I think if you can kind of corner her a little bit, it's going to give a different look, because Spencer Smith is just right now too on fire.
How do you neutralize the firepower? We will see how they respond in the break. Adam Stone is
15 seconds
chatting things over with his team, Eva Radzikowska and CJ Klinger.
Let's play.
Don't get me wrong, too. Susanna is going to be able to send that ball across court, whether it's with her forehand or her backhand, but I still think it might be a better option just from time to time to work in a line-to-line dink with her. You might be able to get one pop-up with CJ through the middle.
Here's a look at the head-to-head. You mentioned at the beginning, a perfect split, 50-50 is what you would expect in this matchup, and that's exactly right. And for the hard eights,
SoCal, correct positions.
They are looking to pull a 5-point
Las Vegas, correct positions.
in this one.
And I kid you not right now, Adam Stone was just pointing to Eva a place on the court, like, get here, open up your forehand, get over here. So this is going to be interesting to see if an adjustment is made.
11-6. Side out, point 7.
Good two-hand backhand roll, textbook.
Quick side out. Quick side out and right back.
7-11. Point.
What did you see? A couple more dinks up the line from Eva Radzikowska to the forehand side of Barr. They had to protect against the cross court, but nonetheless, they worked the point a bit longer and come away with it.
Susanna Barr clobbers them. Covers a 4-point lead.
This is a nice ball from Susanna Barr, recognizing she's got to watch out for the post, getting that ball far enough to the line for the 5th to be Radzikowska's.
Susanna Barr all over it that time as well.
You know, it's fun. You asked me about Susanna Barr and what she's good at. Well, she's good at everything. I mean, this shows that she can still have great hand speed. Also really great on the counter punch right there.
13-8.
Nice setup.
A lot of discussion about Susanna Barr making a case for the premier level this season.
Side out, point
Radzikowska
9.
splits the difference down the middle.
And nice again, two-hand backhand roll, holds it long enough. That's a tough ball because you want to hit it hard. You've got an alley, but
9-13.
nice job, about 60%.
CJ Klinger all over the read, down the line, reflexes of steel.
But see, where this got themselves ahead is that two-hand backhand roll from
10-13.
CJ Klinger. That was actually the setup ball.
Point.
Ball for Barr.
But that's where it's difficult because Radzikowska is almost sitting so heavy backhand right there. She tried to pinpoint it, but there wasn't much space.
11-13. Side out, point 14.
Susanna Barr.
Right now, Susanna's going about 2 balls back towards the line and then sending 1 across court. So CJ's
14-11. Side out, point 12.
Can't be perfect all the time.
Facts.
12-14. Side
Half
out,
step late right there.
point
I don't think they
15.
anticipated the speed up from Susanna. She saw her chance. That ball set up high enough. Love that she is not in fear to attack the ball.
15-12. Point.
It's a good cover from Spencer Smith. Ball attacked, and it's a great ball, actually. You can see the extension
16-12.
on the backhand side.
Point.
I mean, it sits up high enough, but at the same time, it's tough from this point. You want to feel like you're going to be the aggressor, the attacker, but
Timeout, hard 8.
I like a better setup
17-12
ball.
Vegas.
Instead of a sitter
1
that's
minute.
kind of in that yellow zone, I'd rather find a ball that is an absolute yellow to somewhat of a low green in terms of the SoCal Hard 8s. Can they set up another ball to attack?
And just for clarification for our newer pickleball fans, say yellow ball would signify what?
That's a great question. So you've got different zones, right, in terms of from high to low. We'll say anything from above your head to about your hip level is your green zone. That's the zone if the ball is sitting up that high to really get after, to attack that ball. So that's out of either a volley or off the bounce. That yellow zone is anything from about your hip to your knee, where that's about maybe, we'll say like your 4-0s to 5-0s can really kind of get after in terms of attacking. You have to be weary, maybe take some pace off, add more
15
spin
seconds.
to your attack. The red
Las
zone
Vegas,
is
correct
anything, I would say,
Correct.
maybe mid-thigh, knee down to your
Correct.
feet. That is definitely the red zone. Now for these pros, that's where we see everyone kind of separate themselves. At what point can you continue to attack with good success? But the lower you get, kind of the more dangerous as you have to hit up on the ball.
17-12.
Oh, Spencer Smith, it just was short.
Point 13.
Look
Just short.
Look pretty though.
13-17.
Close though. CJ Klinger attacks, makes it a 3-point game.
That was the drop of the game right there from Eva Radzikowska running away from Spencer Smith's top spin and side spin.
Spencer Smith plays paddle for the put away on the backhand. Let's have another look at the close call from that ATP.
18-14.
Very short, maybe an inch. Or close, I meant to say, not very short.
We know what you meant.
Thank you.
That's what I want to see from Eva. Slide over. She's literally straddling the sideline right there, but she gets that big forehand. She's great in terms of power output at an extended point on that forehand side.
Oh yeah, you have the lefty CJ Klinger just waiting to feast on any forehand.
SoCal hard eights. Where does Eva Radzikowska attack? Because you've got the Spencer Smith forehand through the middle, and so far Barr has been dangerous up the line, still utilizing her forehand.
Side out.
Both sit back and counter.
And this serve for Vegas results in another point for the hard eights. Vegas will call a timeout on this receive. So if you're on their side, where you're telling them to return this ball for Vegas with the serve on the side of SoCal, CJ Klinger.
Well, they've been going the direction of Eva Radzikowska. I think the bigger question is more so, what does she do with the third shot? She's had some success utilizing her two-hand backhand drive as well as using her two-hand backhand to roll that ball. One specifically, her best of this game, was a two-hand backhand roll drop to the side of Spencer Smith. So we'll see if that's the direction they go. Also, if you go more middle, you might be able to sneak CJ Klinger just out of position enough. Try and find maybe that forehand side or just inside that center line.
15 seconds.
See what can happen there.
Correct positions.
You might be ahead in the point later on based off of where
no timeouts remain for either
Klinger's
team.
court position is.
Time in. 16-19.
Klinger brings game point to her side.
This game is all about decision making up until about halfway through. Susanna Barr didn't even take the ball out of the air. She just stayed consistent, let that ball bounce, come back, and found a really nice game consecutively.
Susanna Barr that you mentioned, and the Las Vegas Night Owls take a 2-1 edge on the SoCal Hard Eights. They were battle tested all the way through, and that's a solid mixed doubles team on the other side to take down.
There's no doubt about it. That was a great performance from Susanna Barr. She saw what? We'll say 75% of the balls. She was dangerous from her ability to dink aggressively. Not necessarily just constantly attacking, but really able to move the ball around up the line and also cross court. Susanna Barr, the difference maker.
Susanna Barr was the X factor according to one Cameron. Let's check in with the other Cameron Blackwood to get the scoop from the winners.
Thanks, Mish. We had a reverse there. You're in front of Eva, having to downline dink, but how were you able to use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I mean, I trust my down the line dink. I just knew that if we can make the ball bounce, we were in a good position, and Spencer and I can out dink anyone.
And talking about her heads up with Eva, you're really cross-court attacking Eva. Was that the game plan going in to open up the court?
Yeah, I mean, CJ's got great hands, and he got a lot of balls back, so we just couldn't really go there, so we just tried to push Eva back, and the points were so long, and it ended up working out. So.
Las Vegas takes the first mixed doubles. We're going to come right back with the next mix. Do not go anywhere.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob ULTRA, superior light beer.
I just didn't want to look like everybody else. It just didn't suit who I was. It didn't fit my persona. It didn't fit my image. I rep the stuff because I love it. I rep because it's quality, and I like the fact that I look a little fly. It's been huge because it identifies me. I feel like I stand out. People reference me to the shirts all the time. They know me as the guy who wears the flashy shirts, and I'm cool with that.
We're back in Atlanta for the
15 seconds.
Game
Las Vegas is serving from my
match.
left.
And our final mixed doubles duo between Yates Johnson and Emily Ackerman taking on Todd Fote and Yana Newell. Good news for the Hard Eights. They have a 53% edge in this one. They obviously feel comfortable in this matchup, putting Klinger and Radzikowska out first. Yana Newell, you mentioned it, she is sensational in mixed doubles, but you rely on your male partner to carry you in mixed doubles because they have to be the X factor when it comes to matching up with the other man on the other side.
Well, and don't forget, the SoCal Hard Eights picked up their point on men's gender doubles, and a big reason why Todd Fote, his consistency, his ability to kind of dictate terms from that left side was pivotal. Now, it's also interesting on the other side, Johnson has to switch sides here. He plays the right when he's with Spencer Smith. Now he's going to have to be playing that left side, so he's going to be tested on the backhand side. And he also, again, we always talk about it with the fellas, you got to watch out for those dangerous forehands through the middle, so watch for them to get pressed. Emily Ackerman showcased her skill set. She is good not only as a dinker, she's great as an attacker and also as a defensive player. So this is going to be quite the matchup. The cross-court battle between the ladies in terms of
Game 4.
Forehand rolls and cutting that ball is going to be a big piece to this game.
Emily Ackerman served first. She was the second round pick for Vegas.
0-0.
Johnson was the fourth round selection. Game 4 underway. Bombs away from the Hard Eights.
Point 1.
Also, I'm going to say right now, if I'm Yates Johnson, we'll let Ackerman take some of those third shots so that he can get up to the net and add pressure at the kitchen. Trust her.
Point.
Proves otherwise, right? So you got to let yourself kind of settle into a game, especially right now when you've been sitting for a second. That's one of the big elements, is you got to find your rhythm back out in the Major League Pickleball format.
Especially with rally scoring, you don't have a lot of time to find it. Everything is worth a point.
Side out. Point 1. 1-2. Point.
A little bit of a skipper there for Yana Newell as she looks down. Yates Johnson already looking like he's going to try and volley a lot of those balls, taking them out of the air. That one-hand slice. Scary moment.
Side out. Point 3.
Yeah, crashing in the middle. Top foot packs so much power behind that lively arm.
But already the SoCal Hard Eights returning middle right here.
3-2.
Johnson's hitting the third. It's great in terms of his ability to drive the ball, but it also means he's at the baseline.
Side out. Point 3.
Great counter. Emily Ackerman, the two-hand backhand, sliding that up the line. It's easy to pull that wide as you come across your body, so great execution from Ackerman.
3-3. Side out. Point 4.
Idaho's got to find their thirds right now. Haven't been able to get to the kitchen line.
4-3. Point.
For Vegas.
Yana Newell, the big forehand. Again, you gotta love when a female can kind of dictate out there in mixed doubles, create opportunities.
Side out. Point 4.
That is a heck of a roll there from Emily Ackerman. There's nothing Yana Newell can do besides chase that behind her.
Point.
And that's the third I'm talking about. And you
really found it.
And a big reason why Yates Johnson crashing in, you can just see how much Yana Newell have to take this out of the air and send it all the way back across court. Creates the error.
Side out. Point 6.
And this is the kind of court movement I kind of wanted to see in the last mixed doubles match, right? See how they shade over the SoCal Hard Eights, just a heads up play right there for Yana Newell to add the pressure off the edge.
Point. Seven, 5. Point.
What a well-placed shot on the backhand deep of Yates Johnson.
You know, something we don't talk about enough is the difference in dinking as the female or the right side player, the beta kind of in this situation in terms of your location on the court. And how it changes. A lot of times you're going to be a half a step, 2 steps off the kitchen line, which means it's a very distance versus maybe a gender doubles where you're going to be sitting toe-to-toe with that kitchen line. Changes your contact.
Side out. Point 9.
Hands from Emily Ackerman, and Yates Johnson sends that one into the net.
You're good, you're good.
How about that from
9-6.
maybe a little? I mean, Yana Newell, based off of her body position, you would expect that ball to really be popped up.
Point.
Newell saved the point with her wheels to track down that first early ball.
Yeah, great finesse, but that's an even better speed up from Todd Fote.
Was there for the end that time. That was a pretty lofty shot from Yates Johnson, leaving his partner down the line. Good adjustment.
7-10.
a couple steps back in the kitchen.
Point.
This is the corner.
That's when you almost have too much court to work with. You're thinking to yourself,
Yes.
don't miss.
8-10. Side out, point 11. Timeout, change ends, 11-8, 1 minute.
Error as their entrance to the 11-point end change. What are you noticing so far in this matchup?
I think right now for Todd Fote, he's doing a really nice job in terms of his court positioning. He's not seeing the ball very often, but Jana Newell has kind of been the difference maker for them throughout this first and early stage of this game. I'm really impressed with her ability to kind of create opportunities on her forehand side, whether it's from the baseline with her drive, or also, we talked about it, that cross-court battle is going to become really pivotal because her court positioning is not necessarily stuck into the interior of the court. It actually allows her to be a step away from those rolls, and we've seen some really good ones from her on that right side.
Jana Newell, good look at her talking things over with her general manager, Adam Stone, 25 years old. And she has told us that she's committed her game 100% to professional pickleball because of the demands of the schedule and just elevating her game and how big of a difference it's made for her in the last couple of months. Here's another good look at Yates Johnson on the opposing side, 29 years old. 20th DUPR rank on the men's side. He dropped down pretty far in the draft. Fourth round, 46.
11-8.
Surprise there.
Side out, point 9.
I think one of the biggest elements, too, that he could bring to the table. Also a great singles player, which is so important in this major league format.
Yeah, especially for the breaker here, which is looking like this one very well might. Oh no.
Side out, point 12.
Backhand. Yates Johnson can't find that shot he wants, but a great finish for Fote.
Yeah, and that's a nice setup by Fote, kind of dropping that ball shallow, not giving it much bounce, and makes it tough as Johnson knows he's got to give a little extra to get it over the net.
12-9.
For Jana Newell, and she is freed up because of Todd Fote and his ability. They've got the dance working, right? So you can see just how to kind of mold and shape Jana Newell backing off the kitchen line, stepping back in when she needs to. Todd Fote shifting over to the right and shifting back. They're playing really complimentary pickleball right now. That's what experience looks like in terms of spending time together and great communication.
Side out, point 10.
Overhead into the net. Emily Ackerman bailed herself out.
Yeah, and that's a great location in terms of lobbing because it's over the left shoulder of Fote.
High risk play though, if that's 1 inch off. Trouble.
Side out,
Yates Johnson.
point 14. 15.
On the heels of trying to find some momentum.
Yeah, this is where you want to create, but a lot of times it's actually where you want to grind out points, trying to get maybe a little more of the dink rally.
Oh, Ackerman thought she had it, caught the tape. And the Hard Eights pull away, up 6.
For the Night Owls, you know, an interesting strategy might be in terms of an adjustment because Johnson is so comfortable with his forehand. Let him to kind of work around his backhand side, create some opportunities, some deception, and let Emily Ackerman shift more to the middle because she did, and I know she just missed, but she does have a really dangerous two-hand backhand counter. So it might be a way for them to create maybe a bit more offense on their side.
Emily Ackerman, based out of Thousand Oaks, California. 23 years old. We will be heading there in November. Major League Pickleball will be making a stop shop in Thousand Oaks, California, to Emily Ackerman's hometown. Seems like the errors are starting to mount for the Vegas Night Owls, but credit to the Hard Eights and Todd Fote, you mentioned it, putting all the pressure right now on Vegas. Where is he applying the most pressure?
A big piece of it is his court positioning, but also his steadiness, the lack of
15
errors,
seconds.
right? That's one of the biggest differences. Right now he's showcasing
SoCal, you're in the
great
correct
footwork,
positions.
great movement, and also
correct
they're
positions.
sticking with their game plan. They're not straying from their strategy, playing really disciplined pickleball.
Time in. 16-10. Side out.
That's the first
Point to 11.
bad decision we've seen from Todd Fote.
11-16.
Reset ball from Emily Ackerman.
One of the biggest momentum shifters on the side of the Night Owls right now could be the energy, the momentum,
12-16.
and the positivity from Emily Ackerman.
Side out. Point 17.
Their approach paid off.
For viewers at home, I think something that could be really interesting to watch is just how many times Todd Fote finds his forehand on the backhand side compared to Johnson throughout a cross-court rally.
17-12.
Tweener out of desperation. What a point. He needed it.
The energy and momentum right there could be the point to get them. The tweener and a great drop to add to it. Yates, the solid read, finally finds that backhand.
A little more of that Vegas would like to see. Oh, ATP. Todd Fote is calling it
You like to challenge that?
on the...
You'd like to maintain your outcall?
No.
Las Vegas.
Okay, so they called it out. Todd Fote's ball out, but Emily Ackerman buried the ATP.
Yeah,
So-
but the point at the point of out call is where the point would be out. That's where. Does that make sense? So great.
But if that ball is still in from...
SoCal is challenging the outcall.
Because once
The
she
result
calls
of the
that ball
rally
dead,
is 14,
it's dead.
17.
But now I'm curious if they're looking
Video
at.
review.
So you could just say, I don't want to call it out, and
Doesn't matter. Once you, yeah. Oh, that's fair.
The play stands, then she gets the ATP, gets the winner.
But it doesn't. I don't think no. Because once the ball, the play has to stop when somebody calls it out.
So we received some clarification. The out call that Ackerman made, the captain had to verify whether or not they wanted to maintain that call. They said yes, they wanted to maintain the out call. So that is what's being challenged. That ball's in,
yes.
right? So that's a big boo-boo.
It's a point for the SoCal Hard Eights.
Get up to the DUPR side. Get some awesome swag from DUPR.
It is a bummer too, because to your point, she did hit the ATP.
Shoot over to the DUPR side. See what that is.
Ball is ruled in, but we'll hear the final
After
verdict from
review,
Howard.
the call is overturned. Result. That charge you video challenge. You have 1 free challenge remaining. You have 3 free challenges remaining. We resume play at side out. 18.
Worst part is still the wound they're playing on the video board right now behind him.
My question would be,
time in.
Why would you just say
18-13.
For Vegas, SoCal takes another 6-point lead.
Again, there's that forehand all the way on the right side of the court.
Strikes in at the perfect time. Game point for the Hard Eights, looking for a dream breaker to even it out here.
20-13.
Johnson says no for now. 14. Big mountain to climb, down 6. All the momentum in favor of the Hard Eights.
14-20.
They're going to have to go guns a-blazing right here, looking for a great drop, but then they come in, great counter.
15-20.
That is not an easy ball for Emily Ackerman standing in the transition zone.
Set out. 20.
Another game point, number 2 for the Hard Eights, looking to push for that dream breaker to decide.
20-15. Side out, point 16.
Dropped into the wind.
Just as he hit that third, that wind just
16-20. Side out.
Have to make that
20.
Johnson changed his mind right here. Instead of hitting a slice, watch. He goes with the 2-hand backhand, trying to get a little more aggressive.
$20-16.
Game point number 3 for the Hard Eights.
Side out.
Fends off the pace of Todd Fote, and here we are, 17-20. Hope is still alive on the side of the Vegas Night Owls, but they have to go.
Side out. 20.
At this point, you're kind of rolling the dice, right? If you're the Night Owls, they're playing an aggressive style the last handful of points. So I think that's something, it's an error that you can't have at this point, but at the same time, you have to earn a side out.
There's another play on that time for Yates Johnson. 18-20 when you start to panic if you're the Hard Eights.
18-20.
No timeout called. We'll continue. Oh, wow. Almost Emily Ackerman.
20.
Pace from Todd Fote. Right here after the third.
20-18.
This is 19-20 now. No more freeze in Major League Pickleball. So Yates Johnson will try to tie it up here.
19-20.
With a nice save right there, the 2-hand backhand to send it back across court. And this is where you can tell just a little on the side of the SoCal Hard Eights.
Timeout, point 21.
Battle back, they take it 21-20. Game point number 5 or 6 on their side.
But the biggest difference is now it's Fote serving, so Johnson is going to have to work himself up to the court.
Living on the edge. Oh my, Yates Johnson gets it back. We're tied up.
Yana Newell, watch the footwork, because I mean, she comes off the kitchen line 5, if not 6 times to hit those slicing dinks back cross court. The amount of precision you have to have from that point is so difficult with the backspin. It's going to be so easy to let that ball sit up.
21-21.
Big return for Fote. Yana Newell sets it up. Oh my, what a point.
Timeout, SoCal. 22,
upper paddle, the edge guard.
1 minute.
Doing the Las Vegas Night Owls dirty.
22-21. Game point number 7, let's call it. SoCal Hard Eights. My goodness. Yana Newell, nerves of steel. Nothing seems to irritate her at this point in the match. So what's the message right now on the side of both sides?
I would say this high. I know that sounds silly, but honestly, maybe this third shot, they've missed a couple just in the top of the net. But I think you have the ability to give yourself a little bit more grace in terms of if you go at Ackerman, she's going to try and probably roll that ball back cross court. You obviously have to protect against her going off the line, but
if you're with the team.
For the third shot, excuse me, for the SoCal Hard Eights.
15 seconds.
Would you rather win or against
Correct position.
at this point?
No timeouts remain in this game for either team.
For the third.
Time in. 22-21.
More ball.
You.
Oh. Oh.
SoCal.
We'll take a breath. What a finishing point.
Yana Newell did such a good job throughout that rally, holding her court position. Instead of backing off the line, she did just from time to time to let Fote come in, but more importantly, she took a ball or two out of the air. That was a big difference maker right here.
Todd Fote takes advantage of a slight pop-up on his backhand. We couldn't ask for a better performance here in our final mixed doubles matchup between these two. So guess what? We're going the distance. We are going to a Dream Breaker, and Cameron Blackwood is with the winners after an emotional performance for Yana Newell and Todd Fote.
Thanks, Mish, emotionally, physically, to get you guys into the Dream Breaker. You had about 8-9 match points. You decided to take an offensive timeout. What was said in that to make sure you got it done?
We just had to lock in, make that third drop, get in the kitchen, and stay patient until we had our opportunity.
You have Adam Stone on your sideline, GM. What is he telling you through those crucial moments?
He was telling me to stop hitting my drops like Tim.
Okay, we have a Dream Breaker coming up with the Challenger Finals. Michelle, back to you.
Cameron, thanks. Man, oh man, this is exactly what we wanted for the Challenger Final. Both teams vying for their first ever title in Major League Pickleball history, the young history for both teams. Neither of them have ever even been this far in the tournament. And so now let's dive into the singles matchups. Which team do you feel like is better suited for singles? This is that's a tough question.
It is a tough question. You know, I'm looking at the rosters right now. I'm going Yates Johnson, great singles player. Spencer Smith, I'm going to be a little curious to see what he looks like in terms of his singles performance. CJ Klinger, we know that he can utilize his length. He loves to come up, kind of look for the poach and get himself to the net. Eva Radzikowska is going to sit at the baseline, play a little bit more tennis. So I'm curious to see who she matches up with. Will it be Susanna Barr or will it be Jana Newell? Jana obviously also a great singles player, as is Emily Ackerman. So some of these matchups, I'll be curious to see how they respond, but Eva Radzikowska could be somebody, maybe against Susanna Barr, maybe go head-to-head. Susanna's sneaky, sneaky from the baseline.
Both are.
Yeah.
They both have crafty angles, and don't forget Yates Johnson, bottom left corner of your screen, beat Ben Johns, the best player in the world in singles, just over a month ago. So he can turn it up, and that is just fascinating for so many reasons. CJ Klinger was in a dream breaker pressure-filled situation in the semis against Dallas and got matched up against Megan Fudge.
Oh, yeah.
At the top of the batting order. So one would assume that you would put your top players out first no matter what to accumulate as many points as you can.
My assumption would be that maybe you put Klinger against Smith, but maybe they've totally changed this.
So they have, and we just have the order here. So the eights chose to react when it came to mixed doubles, which means Vegas had their pick of the draw when it came to the singles matchup. So the hard eights put out CJ first, CJ Klinger first, top of the order, not surprising. Then Todd Fote, Jana Newell, Eva Radzikowska. And here is who the Vegas Night Owl, countered with. Yates Johnson to match up with CJ Klinger first. Spencer Smith second against Todd Fote. Emily Ackerman against Jana Newell. And then Susanna Barr against Eva Radzikowska.
1 minute.
And it's interesting because they responded with Yates against CJ.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm surprised they didn't go Yates against Spencer Smith.
Why is that?
Well, I feel like that's going to be pretty lopsided in terms of Yates picking up four against CJ is the potential. CJ, a good singles player, but at the same time, he did struggle a little bit against Megan Fudge. So I'm still going to sit here and look. You have Fote against Spencer Smith. That could maybe go 2-2. So there's 4-6 for Jana and Emily Ackerman. That could go 2-2. And Eva and Susanna.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I guess you're counting your bet for Yates Johnson to pick up all four against CJ. That's
Las Vegas will serve from my right.
Well, if nothing else, we're going to be entertained for the remainder of the afternoon. Welcome to the booth, Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin, Cameron Blackwood is joining us on the sideline. We'll be bringing you the conclusion of our coverage here today. We got quarterfinals coming up next for the premier level. This, though, is the challenger level finals, and we're going to a dream breaker presented by Toyota Prius. What are you most looking forward to in this sequence, Cameron?
I mean, it's Major League Pickleball. We cannot wait for these dream breakers to come about because it stretches these athletes to showcase their skills not only on a doubles court from mixed doubles to gender doubles, but now you get to see their ability to have court coverage and hit balls on the move and also from the baseline. It's also about power, control, short angles, topspin. I mean, this is where it really all comes together.
All right, dream breaker, here we come. It is time for our top of the order sequence between Yates Johnson and CJ Klinger. This is what Cameron was referencing in her analysis. Let's see how this shapes out. Top of the sequence. We'll go 4 points in each rotation. We'll walk you through it the rest of the way through.
Dream breaker. Time in. 0-0.
Any more than that is going to be going the direction of SoCal Hard Eights. They're going to be 7-0 in that case.
beautiful angle. Try to replicate this one. So good.
1-1.
This return for CJ Klinger. This would be huge for Yates to get 3.
2-1.
On CJ Klinger if he could pull it off. Oh my. Yates Johnson paints the sideline. Clutch performance early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're betting on. Yates Johnson to come up with at least 3 against CJ Klinger.
So here come Todd Vogt and Spencer Smith for the next 4 points.
Side out. Point 2.
Middle here too. Different strategies, right, in the game of singles. Do you return to the edges or to a weak side, or do you try and minimize the amount of angles your opponent has by returning middle?
Todd coming up clutch. He needs to make up some ground for his team.
Vogt loves to work around the backhand, even doing it now from the baseline.
This return, tough break for Spencer Smith. He's got to get one to tie it up.
4-3.
Spencer Smith.
Point.
And that was a big miss from Spencer Smith when Vogt was on the, we'll call it the outside, the left side, because it opened up his forehand.
5-3.
Could have some success there as he's going so far to the left.
Yana Newell comes out against Ackerman. 2 great tennis backgrounds, and there's the singles prowess of Yana Newell.
6-3. Side out. Point 4.
Will take the miss and a break. A rare one from Yana Newell. She's so good in these situations.
4-6.
That's a
side out.
return from Yana Newell.
In the game of singles, depth of return becomes pivotal. How much can you neutralize your opponent and keep them
7-4.
at the baseline?
Serve was close.
Side out. Point 5.
Emily Ackerman takes the break. A split sequence. 5-7 games. Susanna Barr needs to be the hero for her team.
5-7.
What a shot from Emma Ranzikowska.
Sometimes it's not about power, it's about your ability to roll the ball with short angles. That was a beautiful ball from Ranzikowska.
This return from Barr.
One of the things that Eva could utilize is maybe bringing some of those shorter balls in and work bar vertically versus laterally.
South's not fun in singles. Oh, this bounce.
Side out. Point 6.
Susanna Barr looking to get one more. Last
6-9. Side out. Point 10.
3 points for Eva Ranzikowska. That's clutch. A 6-9-10 lead rather for CJ Klinger. That's a much more comfortable position to be in.
10-6. Timeout. Change ends. 11-6.
About having players that have high ceilings when you're trying to expect them to make big-time plays in a moment like this. Right now, this is the position CJ Klinger can really make a name for himself.
He's 17 years old. He told Cameron Blackwood earlier he loves being in these positions. He wants to be out there competing. And you're just built different when you want to be in those moments and you can perform at that level. I mean,
we've seen
former
stars.
Division I athletes can't even do what these guys are doing out there.
We've seen stars born on the Major League Pickleball stage. Right now, CJ Klinger can make a name for himself.
Heart 8 fan base is strong here in Atlanta. Yates Johnson
Time in.
looking for a big response.
11-6.
Oh boy,
Side
that's
out.
wrong. Good thing it was
Point
out.
7.
Almost rolled his ankle.
7-11. Side out.
Again,
Point
good return.
12.
It keeps Yates Johnson hitting that off of his back foot. The weight transfer has to be moving forward.
12-7. Point.
Into the net goes Yates Johnson. The tables have turned after a 3-1 start for Yates Johnson over CJ Klinger. CJ Klinger reverses the script and goes 3-1 on Yates in their second rotation. So Spencer Smith needs a big response for his team. That's a good start
Point 8
for Spencer. He got swept.
8-13.
Points in the first rotation.
Point.
I like that play from Spencer. He kind of sends it, we'll call it, by really working over, finding his forehand.
I wonder how he was able to
9-13
in the break. Just wide
Side out.
for Smith.
Point 14. $14-9. Point.
If you have foot speed as a singles player, you're going to do some damage. Todd Fote, again, showcasing great footwork throughout this match.
15-9. Point. $16-9. Side out, point 10. $10-16. Point.
It's a heavy serve from Emily Ackerman. Lots of pace, not a whole lot of bounce off the court.
11-16. Point.
Ackerman gets the last point of the sequence. Split 2-2 once more. Susanna Barr got just 1 point on Eva Radzikowska. Can she turn the tables here?
12-16. Side out. Point 17.
Radzikowska getting to the net, really solid volleys.
17-12. Side out, point 13. 13-17.
That is just too good from Eva Radzikowska.
If there's one thing we learned about Eva, it's that she loves her two-hand backhand, and for good reason. She dials it up the line.
Clutch too. Two-time MVP here in Major League Pickleball. Then she tests the lateral movement of Susanna Barr. The Hard Eights could close it out here for their franchise's first ever title.
$19-13. Side out, point 14.
Tried to have a little extra, almost fairy hop on that for the drop.
14-19. Point.
Yates Johnson needed to be clutch in this moment. They now trail by 4. Still some hope.
15-19.
Game point for the Hard Eights.
I love it. They're cheering CJ's name right now.
20-15. game, match, SoCal.
CJ Klinger, the 17-year-old sensation, says he lives for this moment, and the moment met him here today. The SoCal Hard Eights are your 2023 Season 2 MLP Atlanta champs.
Great setup from CJ Klinger, and I love it. Almost a walk-off deflection back to the middle of the court. The 17-year-old, he knows how to spell clutch.
The atmosphere speaks for itself. The first ever title in Hard Eights history. What a dramatic way to end it. In Dream Breaker fashion, walk-off deflection, full team effort. Everyone contributed from singles to doubles to mixed doubles.
Absolute ballers.
I love it. They're getting set up already. The pink crowd is currently alongside all the players. The beach balls are out. It's time to party if you're the SoCal Hard Eights.
And a big congratulations to the ownership group of Rick Chan, Kevin Wong, Jerry Ng, and Tim Parks, coming together to form an incredibly drafted team of challenger level players. Adam Stone in the mix, as well as a general manager, a well-fought battle. And Eva Radzikowska wins yet another title.
She's the Irina Tereshchenko of currently the challenger level.
A three-time Major League Pickleball champion for Eva now. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back for more reaction from the winners after this break.
Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. Brought to you by Michelob ULTRA. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Fromuth Pickleball, where Major League Pickleball players and fans get their gear. Sunday Swagger, polos and personality, the official polo of Major League Pickleball. And Dulce Vida Tequila, tequila pure and simple.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Dulce Vida, you are what you drink.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Cameron Blackwood. We are here with the Challenger level finals. I just want to say thank you so much to the fans. You guys were absolutely incredible. To our amazing sponsors, especially our title sponsor, Margaritaville. Thank you so much. And guys, we got to give it up one more time for the Las Vegas Night Owls. They played incredible all weekend long. Give it up for them. And now, to bring out our winners, the SoCal Hard Eights. Jogging on out here. On left here, we also have the MLP Commissioner, Brooks Wiley, and we also have the COO, Brad Schwabel of Margaritaville. Brooks, I think they need the trophy in their hands before we give them start asking questions. Give it up, guys, Hard Eights. Now, Todd, this was a hard-fought battle, a dream breaker nonetheless. How does it feel right now in this moment?
It feels unbelievable. I'm so happy to be part of this team. It's been an amazing week of pickleball. Thank you for MLP for putting this on. Yeah, I'm stoked.
And Eva here, I mean, this is now your third title. Is it getting old? Is this more fun now?
You know what, it's more and more fun every single time. This team is just absolutely amazing. Playing in Atlanta, having my friends, my boyfriend over here, my boss from my work. I told my team we have to win today because I've got my boss watching us. But no, it's been absolutely amazing. Our coach, the team owners, I mean, this is just a dream come true.
And CJ, you played lights out, especially today. Came in clutch moments. How does this feel?
Well, I love this team. I'm so glad they drafted me.
And Yana, on this team, you also came in clutch, incredible singles to take your team to this win. How special is this moment?
This feels incredible. I think I'm the part of the best team out here, and we did a really great job on our pool. And I think we're going to crush the next ones. Let's go, team.
Yeah. And before we let you guys go, we do have to give it up and announce our MVP. This guy has been an incredible player. Not only is he getting better on the court, but he is such a good person off the court. I've had the pleasure of getting to know his family, and they are some special, incredible people, and they raised an amazing, special son, CJ Klinger. CJ and a guest are invited on a 3-day, 2-night cruise above the Margaritaville at-sea ship Paradise, leaving from Port of Palm Beach, Florida, and traveling to Grand Bahama Island. And it, of course, is being gifted by our title sponsor and the COO of Margaritaville, Brad Schwabel.